Would I be the a-hole to divorce my wife after she said she wanted to send our son to a conversion camp? This is a pretty heavy situation, and I'm really confused and disgusted, not gonna lie, because I never thought my wife was like this. My wife, 44 female, and I, 45 male, have been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, let's call him Noah, and a 12-year-old daughter. We've had our fair share of disagreements over the years, of course, but things have generally been smooth between us. Now, for the context, Noah came out as gay about a year ago. It was a surprise, and as hard as it was to accept, I love my kids more than anything and just want their happiness. My wife visibly didn't take it well, though. She was upset and seemed to go through a grieving period where she didn't really talk about it. I tried to support Noah in every way I could, telling him that I loved him no matter what, etc. My wife, though, I could tell she wasn't on the same page. She would say things like, "This is just a phase," or "He needs help," but I brushed it off as her needing time. Fast forward to last week, and we were having a conversation about Noah's future. Out of nowhere, my wife casually mentions that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps and thinks it might be the right solution. She said that Noah isn't truly gay, that he just hasn't been shown the right path, and that this could fix him. My blood ran cold. Obviously, I was in shock. I immediately told her I didn't agree and that this was not something I could support. Duh. Yeah, I mean, not only is she suggesting something that is, I would argue, just straight up abuse. I mean, the stuff that they do at those conversion camps is abuse. But also her mindset about it. That he's broken and that he needs to be fixed is just like, I mean, unless he's like a serial killer or something, that is just an awful mindset to have about your own child. She got upset and said I was enabling Noah's confusion and that if I really cared about him, I would help him get better. What the is wrong with her? She was persistent, and no matter how much I tried to explain that conversion therapy is harmful, like I know those kids get abused, R-worded, and often end up either traumatized or unaliving themselves, and that I would never send our son to something like that, she wouldn't back down. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't even think I love her anymore. The fact that she could be so heartless disgusts me. I know being gay is not easy and people like her just make it harder. I'm considering staying only for our daughter's sake, but would it be okay if it means hurting my son? It feels like a betrayal to Noah. I just don't think I can keep living with someone who thinks this is okay. I mean, what are you telling your daughter if you decide to stay with her? You're telling your daughter that it's okay to stay with somebody who is homophobic. You're just teaching that that's like an okay thing. It's one thing to maybe be like, oh, I wish they were straight. I can totally see that from somebody who's 44 years old. They grew up in a different time, but to want to send them to conversion therapy and to like say that they're broken and that they need to be fixed, that's unacceptable in my eyes. I see a lot of divorce papers in chat. I think you guys are right there. I'd try filing for emergency custody because she could try to send him off to that camp when you're not around. That's actually a very good point. Not saying that he should stay with her long term, but do you think it makes sense for him to stay with her short term until Noah is 18 so that she can't make that decision for him? All right, so update here. Really bad update if I can be honest, so let's get into it. All of you told me to try to get him out ASAP. Y'all were definitely right. So yesterday I took the day off and went to see an attorney just to get some info about divorce, etc. But after what happened, I'm 100% sure I want a divorce ASAP. Yesterday, I went to pick Noah up at his school, and as many of you suggested, we had a long discussion. I basically told him his mom and I may be getting a divorce because she wants to send him to a conversion camp, but I can't accept that. I've talked with her many times, and I told him I'll probably go through with it. He looked really hurt, my heart broke all over again, but was very understanding and thanked me for standing up for him. I pulled him into a tight hug and told him I'll always love him no matter what, and that nothing's his fault. At that moment, he started crying because he was so glad at least I was on his side. And I'm very pissed. So sorry if I don't make any sense, but apparently his mom has been pressuring him for months. She planned dates with girls to try to fix him, and he had to lie by saying he was going at a friend's instead. She was saying he needs help, and as much as she loves him, he needs to get his condition cured, etc. I feel so bad because I've been so oblivious to all that, and I failed to protect him for all that time. How do you make your 16-year-old son go through that? Man, that's so sad. That poor kid, bro. I'm gonna say it right now. Like, if you're dealing with any of that, that is not normal. Like, you need to find an adult you feel safe with ASAP. So when we got home yesterday, I can't lie, I was furious and confronted her right there and then. At first, she was trying to explain she was doing it for him, but her speech quickly turned to slurs, and it was clear she was just ashamed of having a gay son. In the end, I told her I went to see an attorney and that learning all that just confirmed that I want a divorce. She got really angry, calling me a delusional disgrace. We argued a lot, and at some point, Noah tried to separate us, but my wife punched him multiple times. She was saying disgusting things like he is a dirty F slur and that it's all his fault we're getting divorced because his filth corrupted me. If you see the world like this, like, you are truly delusional. If you're like, oh, the real problem here is everybody else, the call is coming from inside the house. My daughter, who was probably in her room, came to see what all that commotion was about and was rightfully horrified and quickly called 911 when I told her to. Long story short, the cops got here and took her away. She was very reluctant to go because she was not in the wrong and they needed to let her go. I explained everything to my daughter and she doesn't want anything to do with her mom anymore. Right now, I'm in the hospital because my soon-to-be ex-wife broke my rib while I was restraining her. I mean, damn, but that's gonna look real good in the divorce, you know? That's probably a really thing for me to say, but that's where my brain went. I should have probably went as soon as the cops took her, but I don't care. My son was crying with a black eye and a split lip. They are checking for any concussion, and obviously the only thing I cared about was to comfort him because I can't even imagine what it can feel like being beaten by your mom for being gay. I'm planning to file for full custody, of course, and my kids don't want to see her ever again anyways. Given all the charges she's facing, I hope she won't stand a chance against me. I just sent a mail to my attorney, and I hope the procedures will be fast. I've also thought of getting CPS involved, but I'm not sure they will really help. Like, I cannot understand how you can grow so resentful of your own kid because of something they can't control. Even I had pretty strong opinions about it, but as a father, it is my role to unconditionally love my kids, and so I learned about the topic and changed my way of seeing the world for him. It took some time grasping it, but I never doubted 1 second the love I have for my child. I thought it was the same for my wife. Apparently not. As messy as that situation is, I think this is gonna work out for the best because of the way that the situation went. Like, what were your concerns here? Getting full custody of your kid and it being the best thing for your daughter. The events that happened sucked, but it's gonna look really great in a court case you're trying to get custody for your kids for when your wife has not only hit you and broken a rib, but also hit the kid. And then also both your kids are clearly on your side and want nothing to do with mom. So I never said it, not the a-hole, but I don't think I really needed to.